What if I told you one of the most controversial and financially successful internet figures of the modern era was shaped not by privilege, but by instability, intellectual brutality, and a childhood where weakness was never comforted? That before the supercars, private jets, and viral clips, there was a boy sleeping on floors, moving between countries, being trained to think several steps ahead in a world his father believed to have no mercy for losers. When you hear the name Andrew Tate today, images of wealth, arrogance, dominance, and success likely come to mind. But before the fame, before the money, before the fights and the microphones, there was a childhood forged under pressure, one that taught him a single uncompromising rule: the world rewards competence, not excuses. Andrew Tate was born on December the 1st, 1986, in Washington, D.C., into a life that was anything but stable. His father, Andrew Tate Jr., was a chess international master, a tactical genius, known for defeating grandmasters. But brilliance did not translate into comfort. The family lived modestly, often in near poverty. There were no safety nets, no soft landings, and no illusions about fairness. Chess was not just a game in the Tate household. It was a framework for understanding reality.
I'm a chess player, right? My father was a chess player. I believe in winning. In chess, when you look at the board, you don't sit there and go, I'm losing. I wish a pawn could move that way. That's stupid because that's not the game.
Right.
What I do believe in saying is, okay, I'm fucked, but what's the best possible move?
From a young age, Andrew was immersed in chess. A game with no luck, no randomness, and no mercy. Every loss was your fault. Every mistake was punished instantly.
To me, chess is war. Kickboxing is war. It's one-on-one. There's no luck. There's no team that's there to help you or save you. And you have to be ruthless. You have to crush your opponent, absolutely. And also another thing about chess and fighting that's completely the same is, if you lose, somewhere you made a mistake.
His father believed the world had no sympathy for those who failed to think ahead, and he raised his sons accordingly. There was no cuddling, no reassurance, only cold analysis. Why you lost, what you miscalculated, and how you failed to anticipate your opponent's move. Fighting appealed to Andrew Tate for the same reason chess always had. It stripped away luck. There was no win to blame, no bad bounce, no referee's call that saves you. If you lose a fight, it's because someone outthought you, outtimed you, or outworked you. That purity is what drew him in, setting it apart from other sports with external variables that can decide outcomes. Combat rewarded preparation, precision, and psychological control, all things he had been conditioned to value since childhood. Fighting became another area where accountability was absolute, a place to sharpen discipline and test himself under pressure. And while his fighting career would later play an important role in shaping his reputation and confidence, that chapter deserves its own discussion, one we'll return to soon. After his parents divorced, Andrew moved with his mother and siblings to Luton, England, a rough, economically depressed town with limited opportunity. They lived frugally, sometimes relying on government assistance. For Andrew, this period reinforced a lesson already ingrained. No one was coming to save him. Intelligence, adaptability, and aggression towards opportunity would be the only way out. While other kids dreamed passively, Andrew learned to observe systems who had power, who had money, and why. Chess had already taught him pattern recognition, patience, and the value of long-term positioning. Poverty taught him urgency. Long before the money, the notoriety, or the global attention, Andrew Tate was already experimenting with leverage. Around the age of 20, he ran a business called T2 Advertising, operating in the early days of TV advertising. While others his age were drifting, Tate was learning how attention could be bought, redirected, and converted into profit. T2 Advertising did very well, but working with the wrong people certainly stunted progress.
So I only worked for this company a month and a half before I quit and start my own TV company. I'm 20, I own 50% of a TV advertising agency. Turns out Dan is a massive cocaine addict and basically left me to run the entire company. That's why he wanted me. He wanted me to do everything and him just go out and take the money from the bank and do cocaine.
Although the business was not a booming success, it was foundational. It taught him how systems outperform labor, how numbers never lie, and how human behavior could be predicted, influenced, and scaled. Most importantly, it taught him how important friends and family are in building capital, something Tate is very bullish about even to this day.
Family and friends are actually the best staff you can possibly get. Now, people say don't mix friends with business, don't mix family with business. Can you clean my board? Sit here and wipe it, please. Don't mix friends with business. Get that shit off. Don't mix friends with business. Don't mix family with business. That's a lie. So the reason people say this is because people are dickheads and they can't get along with anyone.
TV advertising didn't make him famous, but it gave him something more important at the time. Proof that money could be engineered, not earned hour by hour. That realization permanently shifted his trajectory and confirmed that fighting would build him, but business would free him. As a teenager, Andrew gravitated toward combat sports. Fighting appealed to the same principles chess had drilled into him: timing, control, pressure, and domination. He pursued kickboxing seriously, eventually becoming a 4-time world champion. But unlike many fighters, he never believed sport alone would make him free. Fighting was a tool for discipline, reputation, and confidence, not the end goal. At the time, kickboxing did not have the money like other fighting sports have today.
I need to kill. I don't do this for fun. This is not a sport to me. I don't enjoy it. I hate training. I hate fighting. This is I was born for this. I have no choice. I'm in there to kill. That's it. Pain. That's all I know.
Even while competing, Andrew was already thinking beyond the ring. He understood something many athletes don't. Skill without leverage keeps you replaceable. After his fighting career began to wind down, Andrew turned his full attention to wealth creation. His first major successes came through online businesses, including webcam studios, which he approached not emotionally but mathematically, scaling systems, optimizing labor, and reinvesting profits. Whether admired or criticized, his operations were ruthlessly efficient. He treated business like chess: remove emotion, maximize advantage, anticipate regulation, and stay several moves ahead. It worked very well. Hundreds of dollars a day turned into thousands, then tens of thousands. Before he knew it, he had millions. From there, his ventures expanded into real estate, casinos in Eastern Europe, online educational platforms, cryptocurrency exposure, and digital subscription communities. His wealth didn't come from a single breakthrough, but from stacked systems, multiple income streams feeding one another. Fame came later, almost as a byproduct. Andrew's childhood had conditioned him for this. Chess taught him calculation, poverty taught him hunger. His father taught him that the world does not care how you feel, only how you perform. These forces forged a man obsessed with mastery of time, money, body, and mind, all in the service of building what would become the Tate legacy. By the time Andrew Tate became a viral figure, the persona was already fully formed. The confidence, the intoleration for excuses, the emphasis on discipline and dominance. None of it was new. It was now simply visible. Love him or hate him, Andrew Tate is not an accident. He is the product of early hardship, intellectual pressure, and an upbringing that demanded self-reliance long before adulthood. His story, like chess, is about positioning, understanding the board, recognizing threats, exploiting weakness, and refusing to play fair in a world that never promises fairness.